So the same thing always happens when a new device launches. The media gets review units ahead of the official launch, and we get to use them while we write our review. Then the press embargo lifts, every outlet posts their reviews and videos at the same time, writers and commenters go back and forth, and it's a huge frenzy of opinion and buzz for about a day, and then it all goes away. Sure, there's some follow-up coverage, but after that initial blast, almost no one revisits the device to see how well it's aged, because we're all on to the next big thing already.
So, let's do something about it. Let's have a look at a device after a couple of weeks after release and when it's not shiny and new anymore. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow. This is the Lumia 930, and this is episode 40 of After the Buzz. It's been nearly a year since Nokia launched the Lumia icon on Verizon, and 6 months since the unlocked GSM twin, the Lumia 930, made the scene. By Android standards, that's probably the equivalent to a couple of decades in device launches, but in the case of Microsoft's Windows Phone, not so much. Aging hasn't really been a problem for the Lumia 930, mainly because it's got very little competition on its own platform. Unless you're into the phablet-sized Lumia 1520, or the elegance of the HTC One M8 for Windows, or even the budget-minded Lumia 830, the 930 is still the best mid-sized Lumia you can buy, in both design and specifications. The Snapdragon 800 with 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of non-expandable storage powering the Lumia 930 are still top-notch specifications by Windows Phone standards, and this particular 1080p AMOLED display is probably one of the best looking we've tested even after almost a year down the road. Software updates have been nice enough to enable the double tap to wake function that was originally absent in the icon, but sadly the glance feature that's already available in the budget Lumia 830 is absent on the 930. And apparently that's the way it's going to be since this display seems to lack display memory. The device's build has proven to be resilient as well. A recent fall from waist level barely shows a minor scuff at the aluminum trim and some scratches on the display, and the non-removable back, which we actually found a neat trick on how to remove it, still looks pristine over time. This device lives up to every single positive claim in Lumia build quality, and unless you mind using a phone that completely misses the new trend of thin and light, you'll be satisfied to carry a product that looks like new after months of use. Aging is less apparent on the software front, and really the bigger story of the Lumia 930. Microsoft has reinvigorated its Windows Phone platform with version 8.1 GDR1, and unless you're a fan of the ginormous Lumia 1520 phablet, the Lumia 930 is the only other Windows Phone that takes full advantage of Lumia Denim, or well, everything except the new glance screen features. Hey Cortana is one of the coolest. Just like you can summon a Moto X with your voice without needing to activate the display, you can do the same with Cortana. It might take an extra second to respond compared to the Moto X, but Cortana will actually provide you with faster results most of the time. Other improvements include snooze times for reminders and a CarKit integration feature that we weren't able to test sadly. Building folders shouldn't be a cool new feature, but these live up to the name Live Folders. As opposed to just the simple icon on a folder with other platforms, live tiles within these folders still display periodic information to you to make them useful. It actually makes you want to use these folders since the information is still at a glance available to you. Other improvements include a much overdue consumer VPN option, in addition to improved speed in Internet Explorer, and if you want the full list of features that Windows Phone 8.1 brings, make sure you watch Michael Fisher's extensive video in the link in the description. What makes Lumia Denim cooler is really the user experience. Improved UI fluidity has this 6-month-old device blazing through anything you throw at it, be it day-to-day tasks or graphics-intensive games. My only complaint with Windows Phone remains the excessive transition animations to run basic tasks like looking at a Facebook photo, for example. These really aren't necessary, but then again, the 930 handles these like a flagship would. Battery life doesn't seem to be affected by the good performance as well. You'll probably notice that it begins to drop rather quickly compared to other devices, but it eventually settles and lasts for more than a day with extensive use, or at least my type of usage. Where I even found Windows Phone to be superior to Android is in notifications. I've been an iOS fan mainly because of timely notifications, and Windows Phone has proven to be on par with the standard every single time, which is great. It could be because of how the OS handles data or Wi-Fi, which I found to be top-notch even without LTE, and where the Lumia 930 held on to Wi-Fi in more areas than even the iPhone. Phone calls and even voice messaging are probably one of the best that I've personally ever tested. The 4 microphones have users claiming crisp sound on my end, and the earpiece reminds me of how good landlines used to be, a thing I only thought Motorola phones could do. The speaker at the back is definitely disappointing by today's standards, but it's still plenty loud as well. Now, Lumia Denim, and really anything Lumia related, is mostly about the camera. It's the real reason why I've personally ditched the iPhone 6 for this Lumia 930. Surely images on both devices are comparable even with the 20 megapixel PureView sensor and size optics on the Lumia, but it's really the software features that make using a Lumia camera so cool. The Lumia Denim camera enhancements are so vast that we had to film a separate video to show them off, and links in the description to watch that. In a nutshell, to have Rich Capture allow you to manually add flash tone to an already existing photo, or to manually add high dynamic range to a day shot, or to even be able to pull out an 8 megapixel shot from a 4K video on the move is simply genius. Match that with the audio quality of 4 microphones over any type of video shot, and it's really hard to beat this camera. We could go on for hours about how cool this is, so please, watch our separate video and get a glimpse of what we mean by the Lumia camera. Overall, even after 6 months, the Lumia 930 is not only the Windows Phone to beat, but really a smartphone to beat as well, and this comes from an iPhone guy. It gives you the voice features of the Moto X with a far better camera. It gives you the simplicity of the iPhone with a far better camera. Heck, it even gives you the battery life and performance of most phablets, and dare I say it again, with a far better camera. Microsoft has proven that even through software, an old flagship can challenge new competition, as even the app gap is no longer existent for users like me. The only reason why I wouldn't recommend that you buy this phone is because Lumia flagship is long overdue. Still, if you want a Windows Phone now, or if you want a really great camera on a smartphone, I highly recommend that you join me. That's it for episode 40 of After the Buzz. Thank you very much for watching. Do you own a Lumia 930 or a Lumia Icon? Leave us a comment down below and share your experiences, and also follow us on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You can follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you on the next video.